From the very beginning, my life felt like it was finally settling into a confident rhythm. I had come a long way from the girl who once doubted herself, and now I stood proud as a successful businesswoman. My name is Susan, 32 years old, single again, and stronger than I ever thought I could be. I lead a company worth $25 million, something I built piece by piece, late night after late night. People sometimes assume success just falls into your lap, but mine was carved out of struggle, disappointment, and the harsh reality of being married to a man who made me feel smaller every day. Oddly enough, his constant habit of belittling me lit a fire inside that kept pushing me forward, until I no longer needed his approval. My story really began when I was 26. I had just graduated from fashion school, eager to bring my creativity into the real world. I moved to Portland with big hopes, but the fashion scene there was dense and hard to crack. To stay afloat, I took a job as a brand consultant for an art and antiques company. It wasn't fashion, but it was something. That was where I first crossed paths with Ryan, my future ex-husband. I met him at an art museum, dressed head to toe in luxury and buying expensive pieces like it meant nothing. He wasn't my type, not in the least, but somehow we clicked. 2 years passed before I really understood the man behind the charm, and by then we were already married. I moved into his extravagant mansion, furnished with the finest things money could buy. Ryan ran a luxury adventure travel company and made more than 6 figures a year. But even with all that money, he still chased after attention from other women. I never wanted that kind of chaos, but I kept convincing myself we were okay. Meanwhile, I chased my own passions. I worked long hours and kept my fashion dreams alive through small projects. My days repeated themselves, 9 to 5 at the office, social gatherings on weekends, and sewing until late at night. I had always loved creating things back in college. I made custom dresses for classmates, and I knew I had real talent. But launching a fashion brand from scratch required much more than talent. I had savings, but not nearly enough. Eventually, I realized I had to ask Ryan for help if I wanted to take my dream seriously. One evening, I gathered my courage and approached him. I told him I wanted to finally start a business. I explained how long I had been setting my own dreams aside and reminded him that we weren't planning on having a baby anytime soon. I told him it felt like the right moment. He hesitated at first, warning me how demanding running a company would be. I assured him I had thought it through. I admitted I needed financial help to get started. At first he was shocked, but then he softened and told me we were a team. He reminded me of our wedding vows and insisted that what belonged to him belonged to me as well. His support felt reassuring, even if I didn't know then how temporary that support would be, though thanks to his investment. I dove headfirst into building my brand. The early months were difficult and exhausting. I worked from sunrise to sunset, sometimes even longer. Weekends disappeared into stacks of fabric and endless rounds of sketching. Slowly, Ryan and I grew distant. His job consumed him, and my business consumed me. Our conversations shrank into short exchanges, and even simple moments like eating dinner together became rare. I kept telling myself things would get better once my company found a steady rhythm, but every step forward seemed to uncover new problems. Despite the top-quality materials and talented designers I hired, buyers weren't interested. I didn't understand why, and the more I failed to figure it out, the more my confidence cracked. I feared I had made the biggest mistake of my life. I desperately needed a break from the pressure, and Ryan suggested hosting a dinner party to reconnect with our friends. It had been a long time since we spent an evening without work, so I agreed. We invited 2 of our closest couples, Daniel and Margaret, and Logan and Ariella. Since none of us had energy to cook a proper meal, we ordered from a steakhouse, and I baked brownies to add something personal to the evening. When everyone arrived, the house filled with laughter and warm conversation. For the first time in weeks, I felt lighter. It felt like a small escape from everything I had been carrying. People congratulated me and toasted to the progress I'd made, reminding me of how far I had come. I felt proud even through all the stress. Logan complimented my creativity when he noticed my fabric samples in the back. Margaret cheered for my drive and determination. For a moment, things felt normal until Ryan opened his mouth. He cut through the warm atmosphere with cold, sharp words. He called my business a money-losing mess. He said we wasted too much on materials and talent. He claimed that if the same amount of money had been handed to him, he would have achieved far more. Daniel tried stopping him, but Ryan kept going. Margaret stared at him, shocked by his attitude, but he ignored her too. He mocked my work, calling my dresses outdated and implying I never should have tried to run a company in the first place. The room fell into a heavy silence. Logan tried changing the subject by bringing up an old road trip memory, and Daniel laughed along, but the warmth was gone. I felt numb. I wondered if Ryan meant every word or if this was just another crack in what had already been breaking for months. The awkwardness lingered for the rest of the night. After our friends left, I took a quick shower and crawled into bed, determined to talk to Ryan about what happened. I asked him calmly why he had spoken to me that way. He brushed me off, saying he was tired. I asked again, trying to understand how he truly felt about my business. He claimed he had been drunk and didn't mean what he said, but I could hear the truth in his tone. I told him we barely talked anymore and that something was clearly wrong. I needed honesty. This time, he didn't hold back. He told me the business was failing miserably and that helping me had been the worst investment he ever made. He compared it to a ridiculous purchase he once made, saying my company was an even bigger mistake. I stared at him, stunned by how easily he dismissed my efforts. I reminded him that he had once been supportive, but he coldly admitted that as my husband, he didn't want to crush my dreams at the beginning. Then he added the sentence that broke the last piece of me. Sometimes, yeah, I faked it. You can get a bit dramatic and honestly, if I'd been completely honest. He thought you might hold it against me forever. He admitted Wait said he never told me that he just put it out there I asked. Feeling betrayed, think a booty you did end up getting. What yo wanted, didn't you? When we crossed paths at the museum, you were all in work mode setting up the show. But instead off sticking to the tasks, you managed to beg a dude like me who's pulling in six figures, he continued arrogantly, so you genuinely think I marry you just for money? I asked, stunned. Let's be real for a second. You were stuck in that underpaid job until I invested in your company. You were and are nothing without my had other options, girls doing better than you, but I picked you instead of complaining. Maybe show some thanks. Hesed coldly, you know what? Ryan, maybe Westhold take a break. I said, feeling devastated and hurt. Ryan was supposed to be my biggest fan, but instead he acted like he was the one who made me. Started questioning the man I married. Taking a break seemed like the smart move to clear our heads. Ryan always had a huge ego, evident in how he talked to our family and friends, but treating meth same way was a shocker, so I packed me stuff and crashed at my Gen's place for a bit. She had her own spot and needed a roommate, so I just moved and some of my work was done at home, not just at the office we rented for the company, so I ended up hauling of stuff over to Megan's place too. Throughout all this drama, Ryan didn't say a peep to me. It was like a silent standoff or something. Setting up shop at Megan's and sorting stuff out was kind of confusing that first week, but y'all know what they say, things sometimes happen for a reason. I dove deep into work, grinding day and night. No man in the picture meant I had plenty of tomato hustle. Megan hooked me up with some folks who introduced me to more folks, and my network started expanding. I rethought my whole company strategy and decided to hit reset. Ryan had totally understood me. With the right support, a positive mindset, and encouragement, my company took off. The demand for my clothes shot through the roof. Everyone wanted my designs, and social media influencers were all about repping my brand. I was on cloud nine. The truth was, Ryan had been trying to get in touch with me after I moved out. He was calling me nearly every day, but I was ignoring his calls. I thought it might be time to sort things out, so I planned to swing by our house to grab my stuff and maybe patch things up. With Ryan and consider moving back in, I got to the house, but Ryan wasn't there. I went into me old office first, gathered my things, and then figured I'd leave Ryan a voicemail. Hey, I swung by and used my spare key to grab a few things, but no, there's more to it. I wanted to see out too. I might have gone a bit overboard. As I was in the middle of leaving that voicemail, I paused and walked into our bedroom. My jaw practically hit the floor. There were women's clothes all over the bed. A silk black robe, a couple of dresses, and even makeup scattered on the dresser. It hit like a truck. Ryan had been seeing someone else. He was involved with someone while still Married to me, and to top it off, he brought her into our sacred bedroom. I snooped around a bit for a legitimate explanation, but deep down, I knew better. The truth was staring me in the face. I ducked through the closet and found a straight-up collection of another woman's stuffed bags, bling, shoes, you name it. I took the long route home, needing time to process everything. When I finally got back, I broke down in front of Megan. Hey, why the tears? Did things not go well with Ryan? Megan asked, concerned. My life with Ryan is done. Meg, now what happened? Did he say something? It's cool, we can talk to Hyman, sort things out. It's not about Wave, said Meg, it's about what I saw. I walked into our bedroom expecting just to grab my stuff, and what do I see? Another woman's clothes are everywhere. Wait a second, are you saying he's been messing around with someone else, like heating? Yep, you got it, and not just anyone else. Meg, he brought her into our bedroom, our freaking personal sanctuary. Can you believe that? Oh, Sue, I'm speechless. That's like a whole new level off mess. I'm so damn sorry you're going through this. Honestly, Meg, I'm not sure if I'll ever be okay again. I mean, here, I was second-guessing my decision to take a break from him, thinking I was of reacting, and then I walk in and Sue listen to me. You're so strong and you deserve way better than this. We'll get through all this mess together, step by step. Look, you've got that big fashion event coming up. Promise me you'll focus on that. Okay, don't let this mess with your head. You know what, Meg, there's just one step I need to take. I'm calling my lawyer tomorrow to get that divorce ball rolling. The next time I'm gassing Ryan is when I'm handing in him those damn papers. I just can't find the words to say to him. The disgust is too real. Are you sure about this? I mean, maybe you are rushing into it, Megan asked her, conservative. Nope, Meg. I'm sure he had the nerve to diss me and act like some Hereford, choosing me over better girls, butcheating and fooling around with some. Yeah, sorry, that's a deal breaker. For me, whatever you decide, I've got your back. Your call, your life. I'm in your corner all the way. I stuck to my word and called my lawyer, putting the whole divorce process in motion. Meanwhile, I had a massive marketing event for my company coming up. Big shots and majornums were going to be there, so I had to keep my head in the game, and trust me, my company was in full bloom. Not to boast, but let's just say I made some pretty lavish purchases for myself anyway. I made sure to invite all my friends to the event. The big day came, and famous faces, social media stars, and just regular peeps like my pulled me aside and told me there was this drunken dude off entrance causing a ruckus. His name was Ryan. I was fuming. He must have gotten wind of this through our mutual friends. I made my way to the entrance. Seriously, Ryan, is this who you've turned it into? I could ask you the same thing, Hessler. Just go, Ryan, there's no room for you here. And what about you? Look at this whole spectacle you've created with gathering people would magically make you important and successful. You're a screw-up. This is a screw-up. Let's not do this now. Okay, Wecken, talk tomorrow. Sure, go ahead and Dowhat, you're great at find another rich guy in there and bleed him dry, you vampire. I reached my limit and finally had enough. I made sure he got escorted out. The whole night was ruined for me. My mood hit rock bottom. I decided to keep the incident to myself. I didn't want to spoil anyone else's time. By then I had grown so much stronger and knew what I had to do. The very next day I sent him a hefty check just to prove a point and deflate that massive ego of his. He tried calling me for days afterward, but I gave him ready of silence. Finally, just one paper I wanted to hand over. It was two. He had spent ages tearing me down, making me feel like I was worth nothing. He wrecked our marriage and even succeeded in rigging on my parade during my big day. That waste tipping point for me. No more humility. No more pitying him. Sometimes you've got to show your true self and stand up to these self-absorbed types. I headed over to our place, knocked on Theodore and Ryan answered. We stepped inside. He hun, and sorry for everything. You know what started as a joke and got out offhand. Yeah, we had our differences, but now, Ryan, you think you're innocent in all of this. I moved up too. Is this why you kept saying you weren't ready for Ababy? Who told you that? Who snitched on? Wow, I can't believe this. What's wrong? You know what? I don't even want to know her. Marmar has been a complete train wreck. You weren't here and things got missed. But what we have is real, Ryan. You don't respect me, you don't love me, you just care about yourself. Is that what you think marriage is? I didn't even cash the check you sent me. I want us tobe together. Let's move past this. Know what you should cash it in. It's just money. And honestly, it means nothing to me, but you made such a fuss about it all these years. Come on. Susan, just let it go. What's your deal? I'll tell you what my deal is. I have two things for you. Check this out. What's this divorce? Papers, it's time to put an end to this mess. Wow, so you're really leaving me. You think you can just walk out like this, Ryan? It's not about thinking. It's about knowing. I need to. Come on, Susan, you're not serious doing this, are you? We've been through so much. Hold up, what's this? Oh, just a little something. I thought you might find interesting my balance sheet for $25 million business. You thought was a joke? Wait a minute, you're telling Memphis is your business? Ding ding ding, you'll get it, Ryan. The same business, you collate a money losing machine, but how the heck did you? Oh well, that's the thing, Wiley were busy doubting me. I was hustling bind the scenes, making strategic moves and building my empire. Surprise, no way, this is insane. You did all of this without me? Yep, without you. Turns out I didn't meet someone dragging me down with their negativity. I can't believe it, you've out on yourself. Funny how success looks good on my how. Ryan was seriously shaken. I'd never seen him so speechless in my life. His whole Mr. Know-it-all vibe gone. He seemed like he'd swallowed Alaman or something with the divorce papers signed. I finally felt a sense of relief. I am officially single and ready to take on the world, starting with New York, the fashion epicenter next month. Word on the street is that Ryan has turned our old place into some kind of bachelor hangout. Apparently, he's constantly moping around, wallowing in his own regrets. Meanwhile, I'm out here totally owning the success game. It's like this constant high of proving him dead wrong. There's no me for someone else to define my worth. I've got that covered, thanks.